What up, YouTube? This is like take 22. I am like, I swear, I thought I was going to get over this retrograde shit, and I don't know if I am just not. I don't know. I just cannot talk again tonight. It's driving me crazy, and I don't want to be on here stumbling my words. I am here tonight with a video that is, what's the meaning of spirituality? What does it mean to be spiritual? And then also to kind of show the difference between being religious and being spiritual, because people get those confused. I did make notes. I am going to read off my notes because I spent a long time to make these notes, and I want to make sure that I get my point across and the stuff I researched, and so you as the viewer can understand what I'm talking about. So here I go. Is being a person whose highest priority is, this is what it means to be spiritual, I'm sorry, is being a person whose highest priority is to be loving to themselves and others. A spiritual person cares about people, animals, and the planet, and being kind. A spiritual person knows we are all one and honors the oneness. A spiritual person is very kind. People confuse spirituality with religion. People can be both, of course, spiritual and religious, but it is also possible to be religious without being spiritual. You can go to church every Sunday. You can pray every single night, every morning, before every meal. Does that make you spiritual? No. You can practice yoga, meditation. Does that make you spiritual? No. You can belong to a spiritual group and be devoted to all their teachings, follow all their, whatever they go by. Does that make you spiritual? No. Anyone can go to church and everyone can pray and everyone can love themselves. Not everyone can love themselves, others, and the planet. But not all people can do that, can be a part of loving themselves. Not all people can be part of loving all others without judgment and without righteousness and without being mean. And obviously I just talked about the animal situation. People, it just blows me away how mean people are to animals. I mean, I cannot imagine being that cruel to where I don't know. I honestly, if I even talk about it, it'll make me cry, and I'm sure you don't want to see me cry. There are many of us that do not belong to a certain religious group, do not go to church, do not meditate or do yoga, but what we do is we are capable of helping others, we are capable of loving others, we are capable of giving that the energy of love out to others, and without belonging to religious groups and doing meditation and yoga. And when we look at these people that are like this, when you look in their eyes, you can see the kindness, you can see the love, because you can feel it. Their actions show it. There are many religious people that are anything and everything but kind to themselves, to others, to animals, and to the planet. They can be very judgmental, righteous, and downright mean. And so can spiritual people. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, no one's perfect, but so can a person be both religious and spiritual? Well, of course, as long as they operate in their religion from their heart, rather than from what they are being taught. What some forget is that the universe, God, is energy of love, and that's what created us. And anything that is not love, peace, joy, truth, kindness is not God. And practicing meditation and yoga does not mean that you invite God into your heart, or that every present love is being learned, if that makes sense. About what is your highest good and the highest good of others and the planet and animals and all that good stuff. If you are wanting to be a spiritual person, then all you need to do is allow kindness to guide you to the light, to your highest, self. And that means kindness towards yourself, others, the planet, and animals. All of us need to recognize that we all have the light and love of God in us. And we all need to honor this love so we know the importance of oneness of all that is. Here are a couple things that will help develop spirituality if you're interested. Determine the type of people you want to surround yourself with. Donate or volunteer to a cause that is important to you. Learn to meditate. Use movement to connect with your body, your own body, like say, moving your hips or dancing or whatever it is. Create a ritual. Like, we all have rituals. We get up in the morning, we brush our teeth, we take a shower. Just create a ritual around spirituality. What are the benefits that we get from being spiritual? It's proven that people live longer, higher levels of happiness, experience more communication, promote healthy development in children, cope better with death of a loved one, have lower depression and suicide. Studies have proven it reduces stress. Meditating is an excellent way to cope with stress, and a study suggests that 42% of spiritual people meditate instead of overeating and indulging in unhealthy coping behaviors. Meditation has all kinds of benefits, such as improving health, your happiness, and it helps with focus to decrease pain and depression. Also, by using movement to connect with your body, it decreases stress, improves moods, and enhances focus. Whether you're walking, running, or practicing breathing exercises, take it out into nature, because nature always makes everything so much better. You're connecting with the earth, Mother Earth, and you're grounding yourself, and so do that stuff outside. Lastly, by creating rituals, it will increase calmness in your life, and it suggests that you start slow, 10 to 15 minutes a day. So that's my notes. No matter if you're religious, you're spiritual, or whatever your beliefs are, as long as you're respecting yourself, you are respecting others, you're respecting our planet, you're respecting animals, then it doesn't matter really what category you fall into. The thing is if you really pay attention, because I do, this world has gone from love your neighbors. Your neighbors were like your best friends. You would play kick the can on the whole block would come, and all these kids would play kick the can while all the parents, hung out and drank or whatever they did, had a barbecue, and, everybody was just so much more connected than they are now. And what is coming in between all that, and people don't realize it, and people are going to be like, oh, whatever, she doesn't know, is that this world is so full of darkness. People have stopped caring about one another. They have stopped respecting the meaning of union, like a spiritual or a loving union. People are more out just for their own desires, their own needs, what they want, and greed is extremely horrible nowadays, and lust, and we all have to admit, everything is based on sex. The Super Bowl, halftime show is, these women all dressed in skimpy clothes and, parading around, and don't get me wrong, because I both, whoever, all the people that performed at the Super Bowl, I love them. I don't have to watch them. It doesn't, I could care less about watching them, but I'm not, I'm into men, so and so even if it was a man on there, I don't watch it, because I don't watch the Super Bowl. I don't really watch TV that much anymore, because I don't know. that could be a whole nother like video. But you know, our children are learning that, you know, that sex is just like non-committal. It's just something that you share your energy with people, and you know, and it's just like everything. Greed. People think that we have to live in the biggest houses, that we have to buy, you know, and we have to drive the fanciest cars. And if you don't, then you're looked down upon. Well, people don't know how much money that person has. Maybe that person has more money than they do. Maybe that person's not in debt like most people are because they're trying to live up to the standard. You know, greed, are people do horrible things to people every day to take money from them, to, you know, whatever. And we were always taught, at least I was taught, that the worst things that you could ever do and the worst sins that we could ever commit was being greedy, lustful, you know, and that's what our world is. To me, it's like us light workers, because I'm a light worker, are sent here to talk to people about this, because we're at, you know, we've always been at a war with the devil. You know, it's always been, you know, this huge war that will never probably go away. And right now, the devil's winning, because everything that most people are doing, and I'm not talking like, I don't judge people for I don't judge people, period. But like for drinking and drugs, you know, I mean, that's something on a personal level so much. It's when we actually are doing things to harm other people that we don't take time to respect, you know, how we treat people or how we make other people feel. It's not a big deal to hurt somebody. You know, it's kind of like a joke to people. And, you know, we don't respect our planet. People, look at all the animal abuse. I mean, who the hell? I mean, how could you ever do that to a poor, you know, animal that is looking upon you as their owner, and who's going to love them and take care of them? People like that, to me, should be shot. I mean, that's how I feel. It's horrible. It breaks my heart every time I see it. And I just cannot even begin to imagine doing that to an animal. Sure, I mean, I yell at my dog, or, you know, knock it off, you're getting on my nerves or something. But she's my baby. I mean, I would never harm her. And, oh, are people that abandon their animals because they can't feed them. You know what? Have fucking balls and take them, or, you know, try to find a owner for them. You don't just like, I remember when I was a kid, my mom, I remember her driving out into the country. Oh, I'll never forget this. It breaks my heart so bad. And our dog being with us, and she opens the door and lets the dog out and drives off. And I was like, what are you doing? And she was like, we can't afford to feed it. So that's how she took it. That's what she did. I'm like, who? And to this day, I still can't fabish who the hell would ever do something like that. And honestly, when I think about that, I'm like, I didn't know my mom at all. I mean, if you were that heartless to do that to an animal, I mean, it says a lot about somebody. And, you know, I love my mom, but my God, that is not right. And so that dog was out in the middle of nowhere and either got, you know, some animal probably attacked it and ate it, or it starved to death. And it's just out there like, where's my owner? Oh, it just upsets me so much. It just makes me want to cry. And people do that with their children. People don't respect marriages. They just, you know, they just want to be able to not commit to people. They just want to, you know, have all these, I don't know. It's just, this world is really, really at war. And I don't like to preach God. I don't like to sound, you know, we have enough of that in the world. You know, we have all these religious organizations that have their own beliefs and people following in them and whatever else. And, you know, more power to you. I'm not trying to judge or put down any type of that, but it's just, what it comes down to is we need to have more love towards each other. We need to bring God back into our homes, back into our lives. We need to spread the energy, our loving energy, out into the world, so there's not so much darkness and hate and, you know, greed and just lustful acts. And we need to focus on not having our children watching almost porns half the time. You know, people walk around naked. I walked out the other day, my daughter was watching this movie, and here's this man just walking around. I mean, man and woman just walking around. I mean, naked as a, you know, shit. And it was a rated R movie. It was just a regular movie. Well, you know, kids are having sex even, younger. I mean, one day was taking my daughter and her friends to the movies, and I about died. The conversation of what these, and they were at the time, they were 14, what the conversation of these 14-year-olds were. I mean, it was just like, they were talking about, some like downright to the point, like specific things that they were doing with their boyfriends. I mean, to the point where they were having sex at school, and they were giving their boyfriends blowjobs during lunch. And I was, oh my gosh, I about had a heart attack. I tell you, my daughter went on birth control that next week, because I was like, what the hell? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know it's gone on for a long time, but these kids it's just like a normal part of their life now, because us parents are failing to protect them from it. I know we can't protect them from it like 100%, but we can, monitor their phones to what they're viewing online. They were talking in the car about watching porn and just all kinds of stuff. I mean, I was just floored. I just thought, technology has just really, personally, and I do have a cell phone, so I'm not trying to say anything, too much, but technology has really destroyed what life used to be. Everybody has to be on their phone. People can't go anywhere without it. It makes everything so easy to access, and it makes porns, everything just so easy that nobody has to work towards towards anything. People don't even, men don't even ask you out to go out for dinner. They don't show up at your door with flowers. They don't open the door. They're wanting you to talk, not even date, not commit, of course. They just want to have sex, and then, come back for more, and then go to Jill's down the street, or, Joe's next door, or whatever. And that's fine. More power to whoever wants to do that. I guess, to me, I believe that we share energy when we are intimate with somebody. So I think that, to me, it's important that I'm not doing that. I'm not sharing my energy with everyone, because for one thing, my energy is, people already feed off my energy, because I can walk into a room and people can see it. I just glow of it. But I don't know. I just think that, no matter if we're religious, we're spiritual, or whatever your beliefs are, maybe you don't have any. Maybe you worship the devil, and if that's what you do, then, I highly doubt you'll be watching this video, but more power to you. People are allowed to believe whatever they want, as long as you are doing it with pure love in your heart. I don't know if that's possible I don't know. I don't know that much about it. Maybe my next video will be what people do when they do worship the devil. Actually, I'll research that tonight, and I'll have the video tomorrow. Well, anyways, I hope that it did give you kind of a little bit of insight. It wasn't the longest video. My focus, or, my intention was for it to not be this long, but then I started blabbing. But I think I want to make it, personal, more personable, and not just me reading off my notes and stuff like that. And, like I said, if you're religious, spiritual, you're independent, you just do your own thing. As long as we're doing everything with pure love in our heart, as long as we want to be kind to others, we want to help others, we want to lend a helping hand when somebody's, struggling, or whatever it is, God is shining down upon us. He's shining the light. He's sending us love, and, and you do receive good karma from doing stuff like that. I'm not saying that's the only reason why you should do it, but, what we put out into the world, it generally comes back. So if you're putting out shit, you're getting shit back. If you're putting out kindness and love, it will come back. And, and I think that's really important. All of us have been to that point in our life where we're like, my God, what is going on? Why am I being hit with all this? My life starts going good, and all of a sudden this big old tower comes crumbling down. And, well, it's because obviously you were missing something, or you were doing something that you shouldn't have, or you were being more greedy, and, not sharing your love, and not being loving towards yourself or others. That's just generally what it comes down to. So, well, anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys all have a good rest of your Saturday night. If you happen to go out drinking, please call a taxi or someone to pick you up. Don't drink and drive. Speaking from experience, it's not fun if you get a DUI, and it's just, you know, and now that I think about it, you could really hurt yourself or somebody else. So make sure that you do something kind for somebody, maybe tomorrow or even this evening. Make sure that you tell your loved ones how much they mean to you, how much you love them. If you know, have a friend that you think that you need to tell, just make sure that you tell them just how much they mean to you, because some people just really need to hear that. And I know that we all need to hear it, but some people just don't admit it. But, you know, I want to hear it every day. I want somebody to tell me how much they love and, you know, appreciate me, because that makes me feel like I'm doing something good, that I'm a good person, that, you know. So I want to tell you all, I love you very much. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm sending much healing, positive vibes, much love, and peace, like always. Have a great Saturday. Kisses.